The DDT Digital Network presents the DDT WrestleCast.
Hello, Apps here from the DDT Digital Network. Welcome to the DDT WrestleCast. This is a quick introduction of what to expect on the DDT WrestleCast and really what it's going to be. With any luck, you will know that we are part of the DDT Digital Network. So not only are these episodes available here on the DDT WrestleCast feed, they are also available on the DDT Digital Network feed as well. So check that out if you're interested in content that's perhaps outside of just pro wrestling. But this is just pro wrestling. So if you're here, I'm assuming that you either like pro wrestling or have liked pro wrestling at some point in your life. And I thank you for seeking us out and giving us your valuable time. I know as a wrestling fan, we have to constantly go through a battle where we have to legitimise our love for the business, and you get all the sideways looks. You know, you tell someone that part of your entertainment is some wrestling once or twice a week. But thanks to the internet, we can now kind of discourse with like-minded people outside of the judgment of people like, oh, why are you watching that fake shit? You know what? We fucking love it, and I think we always will. It's always going to be part of our lives. But what is the DDT WrestleCast? Well, it's kind of several streams of content, I guess, that will be coming your way. So one stream is I do, or have done, solo reviews of the WWF Attitude Era pay-per-views. I start with the Royal Rumble 1998, and I'm planning to end this after WrestleMania 17 in 2001. Probably not quite when the Attitude Era ends, but WCW and ECW fold up at that time and get bought out by WWF. And in my view, it changes things a lot at that stage. There's a lot of stuff that kind of from that day onwards, almost to the day, you know, the wrestling industry changes. So I will be stopping it there. So it will just be me reviewing the event, and it will drop almost like seasons. So for example, I've done season 1. So season 1 is 1998. That's all the pay-per-views that took place in 98. So you can expect that to start rolling out very shortly, and you'll get one episode of that a week. You know, that's going to start in the very, very near future. They're ready to go. I've just got to do a few little tidbits. One thing to keep in mind about these episodes is that I recorded these several months ago. So, you know, at that point we had the unplugged feed and all this stuff. So some of the references I make to the wider digital landscape might be off. And another thing is that I haven't settled on a format that I'm actually happy with. So I changed the format throughout the season of how I present the events and what backstories I go into. So just keep that in mind, that that's an evolving process, and it'll probably be evolving all the way until I finish up in 2001. But I'm about a quarter. So season 1's done, 98's done, it's ready, it's in the can, that'll be released. But I'm about a quarter of the way through season 2, which will be 1999, and then we will eventually conclude with season 3, which will be 2000, and then 2001 until WrestleMania 17. So expect there to be a varying degree of gaps between seasons, simply because this takes a hell of a lot of time to do, because I'm not just watching the pay-per-views, I'm watching Raw, and now SmackDown has been introduced on a weekly basis, watching a few at a time, you know, every other day or so. So it is a huge undertaking, and I'm not doing this for your benefit. I'm actually, you know, watching these events because I wanted to and enjoyed it, and I thought, you know what, it'd be a good idea to document what's going on in the world of wrestling and what the ups and downs are of that time period. So I'm not going to stop. It's just that I'm watching it as though I'm rewatching the whole era again. And I'm not going to start the release of a season until I have recorded and edited every episode of that particular season. So once a season starts, you know it will be finished in 12 to maybe 15 weeks, depending on how many events are in that year. Keeping on the subject of historic wrestling, Paper, who's part of the DIMP Digital team, if you've listened to our content before, he will be joining me infrequently to review historic wrestling pay-per-views. So we will both be watching an agreed event and then reviewing it. Now, our first event will be the infamous WWF SummerSlam 1992. Looking forward to that one for sure. And those of you who also reside in the UK, I'm pretty sure it holds a special place in your heart, as it's probably the biggest wrestling event ever held on these shores. Certainly from a WWE perspective, if you look at what they've done after that and then since, I can't think of a bigger event than that. SummerSlam is one of their tentpole big pay-per-views of the year. But look forward to those classic event reviews. It's good to have someone to bounce off, so they'll take a very different form to the Attitude Era pay-per-view reviews, because that's just me talking. Me and Paper will bounce off each other and have different opinions and whatnot. And the final kind of work stream that's up and running and will be going is linked to Paper again. And that's our review of the modern landscape of pro wrestling. Now, don't get too excited. It will not be everything. But at the moment, and this could change, and it'll be part of the process and part of why I think this is interesting, we are both committed to watching All Elite Wrestling on a weekly basis. I speak for myself in that I'm enjoying it. And I think Paper is enjoying it as well. And it'd be interesting to see how long it holds our attention for. I think it'll hold my attention longer, maybe. I don't know. I don't see myself being turned off. But the good thing about this is that it will be almost like a journey of the ups and downs of this new company or new wrestling company. And any big pay-per-views they do, we will review, probably separately. They'll probably get their own podcasts. And I think the plan is to check in maybe once a month to review what's been going on in the AEW sort of television land, if you will. Because they don't do a pay-per-view every month. They seem to do them roughly once every quarter. So in the gaps between the pay-per-views, we can, review a month at a time. And I don't think either of us have an interest in getting involved with the WWE universe or, other products. Like Paper certainly does not. I have tried to watch WWE since probably November, like properly sat down and watched it, but it's just not sticking with me. I don't know what it is. I try and check in on and watch the pay-per-views when I'm at a loose end, but nothing more than that. I listen to a lot of wrestling podcasts. I kind of keep up to date with what's going on via those. But that's our final stream. It will be AEW focused for now, and we'll be obviously reliant on them still being able to run shows in the short to medium term, because obviously with what's going on, that might change, and they might have to put any new stuff out, which brings us to a close on that. But that's it for this introduction. I am really super excited to get the DDT WrestleCast off the ground and out to everyone. If you want to keep up with the latest goings on with the DDT WrestleCast, then follow us on Twitter at DDT WrestleCast, and please subscribe to the podcast and get in touch with us if you want to start a conversation. Nothing more for me to say though, apart from thanks for your time and ta-da.
This was a DIMP Digital production.